Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great, and welcome to your daily update here on Bitcoin. We're going to do a full update. The price, as expected, has dropped down a fair bit overnight, as you can see right here. Now, that's in general, I mean, this was to be expected. Yesterday, I thought we would move a little bit higher first, but I would say right now we're still within that move, right? I mean, I still don't think this bullish price action necessarily is over. I mean, if you take a look at the fundamentals are actually quite good, as you can see in a moment right here. Look, if you take a look at the stock market, that's been relatively stable here at the top. And you know, the main thing I think we need to be prepared for regarding Bitcoin and then its correlation to the capital markets is filling this gap we left to the downside here in the weekend. That's still a possibility, right? And that's going to pull Bitcoin down with it as well. But ultimately, it seems like the stock market has actually finalized the reclaim right here. So even if we fill that gap, it does seem most likely, especially also in light of current economic events, such as the tariffs, the 2nd of April, and the updates we had on that, but also economic data, which today we do not really have major economic data. We have new home sales. Tomorrow is more important. But in that light, I do think stocks will remain bullish. So I still think we need to be worried for that move down. We left the CME gap right here as well, and I still think we are quite over leveraged, even though we have lost some of that leverage luckily overnight. But the big question is as well, can we still continue this move upwards into the main resistance level right here? Let's say between 90,000 and 92,000. Can we do that first before getting that deeper pullback? Because the pullback I do think is coming, right? I think whatever is causing Bitcoin to be bullish right now, like I said, either when the stock markets retrace or if we get some sort of, you know, in general, the fundamentals around the general capital markets are still quite shaky, right? So we just need one big news event that's bearish to push the price down, and I don't really see any reason fundamentally why I would expect Bitcoin to break out, right? So there we have that main resistance level, which will probably still function as resistance if we get there. So then we'll get the pullback there. But right now, like I said, the big question is as well, will we have that pullback first, and that we can find support right here at 84,000, find support there, and then from there hopefully rally up to the top of the range? Or will we pull up to the top of the range with more leverage coming in over the course of today, and then from there we'll drop down to 84,000 and find support and hopefully consolidate? And I'm going to be completely honest with you, that is not something that's easy to predict. I mean, the main level I'm looking at right now is this level right here between 87,500 and 87,000. There you can see that that's a relatively respected level as well. Historically, you can quite clearly see that right here. But also technically short term, you have the 200 EMA there. That was also the week high we had the 20th of March, which if you create a weak high right there, like that, it's always key that you break above that and hold it as support. We did not do that, and that in combination of my expectation of this gap from the stock market still to fill makes me lean slightly towards saying that we will reject from there and drop down into that CME gap at 84,000, which I think will provide support, and from there we will have a chance to rally again. But we'll talk about that later. So I'm leaning slightly towards this, but to be 100% honest with you, I'm ready for both scenarios. I have both long positions and short positions open now. And my opinion is completely based on the reaction to this level here around 87,200, right? If we break above that with volume, then first of all, I was wrong, but I will switch my bias. I will switch my trading style based on that and expect more upside, because fundamentally there are some reasons to expect that. So therefore, what I would advise you to do, or at least what I would recommend, is for you to stay fluid in your bias as well. All right, it's best to be able to switch biases very early and capitalize on that, rather than to wait for major levels to break and then base it off of that. But for now, like I said, I think this is slightly more likely. But those are my thoughts. That's what I think you need to know for now. So thank you for watching. Take care and bye.